Hi everyone, welcome to my Wednesday lunch hour review. I actually did not post one last week, so sorry about that. I am back on track now this week. If you like my product reviews, usually I do planners, beauty products, books, anything that is really just standing out in my life at the moment as something that I love, I want to share with you, I will do a Wednesday lunch hour review. If there's something that you would like me to review, just let me know and I can check it out, and if I love it, I will do a product review. So if you like that sort of thing, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Should be below this video, and that way you can get my Wednesday lunch hour reviews every week. This week I am going to show you a couple of books. I do like to do book reviews, but it's not really going to be a comprehensive book review, more just showing you some things I'm reading right now. But I want to focus more on living intentionally. So this is a little bit different of a review than I would normally do. There's not really much for you to rush out and buy, though like I said, I do have a couple book reviews that I'll stick in here too. I have recently really found that I'm wasting a lot of time in my personal life. The office is going smooth, and yeah, that's fine. I've been in my new job since July, really loving it, and that's going pretty well. But with my personal time, I'm finding that social media is taking up so much of my time. And I'm not going to just quit social media, obviously. I'm here doing my Wednesday lunch hour review like normal. And it's not just social media, it's watching movies or taking BuzzFeed quizzes or doing little things that in the moment are fun, but what value is it really adding to my life? I recently was in a doctoral program, completed year 1 of 5, and then realized that I was putting so much of my time into that I wasn't getting my family. I wasn't getting the things that filled me up. I was just doing, and was exhausted, and just realized that I didn't want to write a dissertation while missing my daughter's childhood. But now I have this time that I need to be using and filling intentionally. Not that every single second has to be filled. White space in your planner is okay. That's a hard lesson for me to learn, but it's one that I'm working on. But I don't want to waste time either. And I found that my quiet time in the morning, I had really been just checking Facebook, spending 20 minutes on Facebook and Instagram, and that was fine. But it really wasn't adding any value to my life, and I really want that value added. So one thing I've started doing is in the mornings, I just want to get my mind in a good space. And so instead of immediately turning to social media, I actually just got a new Bible, which might sound like, why are you reviewing a Bible? Like, oh, this is going to turn into a religious thing. And not necessarily. Most of my product reviews really aren't like that. But I do want to share this particular Bible. And I have several. I've got women's Bibles and devotional Bibles and ones just with pretty covers. Every once in a while I pick up a new one. I'm like, oh, I want to read this one now. And really, it's the same stories we've read 1,000 times. And this one is too. But this one is the Jesus Bible. I go to Passion City Church. So they talk about it all the time. It's a honking big Bible. Kind of heavy, but it is beautiful. I love the cover, little foil accents. This is kind of the women's version of it. There's one with a gray linen cover that's at a slightly better price point. I was able to double coupon with Barnes & Noble and actually get this one pretty well as far as price goes, but normally this one is at a little bit higher price point. But what I love about this particular Bible is that it's called the Jesus Bible, and it focuses completely on where Jesus is in the entire story from Genesis forward. And it's amazing because I think if you're like me and you've been in church for a long time, you know that the point of all of it is Jesus. That's the main story. That's the headline. That's why we're there. But you might not recognize, at least I didn't recognize, where he was in the whole story. I saw the Old Testament as historical, just kind of whatever. I'll read the New Testament. That's where I need to be focusing my devotion, my quiet time, especially now that I have a renewed focus on spending my time in the Word in the mornings instead of in Instagram. But this Bible really takes you through the story, every story, with where is Jesus with that focus. There's these great little sidebars. The intro is great, of course, written by Louis Giglio. There's some other contributing authors whose names we probably recognize. Let's see, Ravi Zachariah, John Piper, Max Lucado. So articles from other folks too. I really love what Louis Giglio writes. throughout. One of my favorite things is these little sidebars here. And I've used them kind of like devotions. You can use them just as study aids as you're reading, of course, but they're just, about a paragraph or two about what you're reading, and it shows you where Jesus is in that story. If you have the YouVersion Bible app, there is a Jesus Bible reading plan, but it doesn't hit all of them, of course. It gives you 365 of the little snippets to read along, which is great. I'm reading actually in the physical copy because I want to get all of them. But all throughout, like just open to a random page, and you'll see these little sidebars. And it tells you where you see Jesus in the big story. And that has really been transformative. I'm seeing things and learning things in Genesis, the same old stories we've read 1,000 times, that I've not looked at in that way. It's giving me a new perspective, which is really great. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. But get your hands on a copy of the Jesus Bible. The Bible is the Bible, but the content on the sidebars and throughout the other essays and things that are in there have really been eye-opening for me. I've really loved it. And with my focus on living very intentionally and being intentional in how I spend my time, that has really helped me in the mornings just to get me grounded, get my mind in a good place, and put my mind on what needs to be on, which is people and showing grace and kindness. And it's amazing how your outlook for the entire day can change when that's your focus first thing in the morning. And so it's nice when I have that quiet time, but then everybody else is awake and you have 1,000 things going on, and at least I do. And so to be spending my time intentionally throughout the day is something I have to constantly remind myself of and work on. When I get to the office, I do like to spend a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, just at the beginning of the day, reading something to help me get my head in a great space for the day in the office. Not just for me personally, but for my work day. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reading books about business or about education or anything like that, but it's just something to get me in a good frame of mind. And so I read Emily Lay's Grace Not Perfection. Just finished that. I know I've already reviewed that, so I won't go into a lot of detail there other than it's great. But I just picked up Laura Casey's Cultivate, and I'm only a few pages in, but already this is a great read. Just like Grace Not Perfection, it has short little sections. So just to show you like what I read this morning. Starting here, you can see a heading, just one page. Goes to there. There's the next heading. The next one's super short, so I might read 2 tomorrow. But just read 1 or 2. And this one's all about cultivating an intentional life, which is a personal focus for me right now. I spend time in the evening reading. I'm trying to make it a goal to read something just for fun every day and to have a few minutes without a screen right before I go to sleep. So it's just little choices like that. And the last thing I want to talk about in my intentional living right now is my phone and my apps. We go to my home screen. I have no notifications. I mean, you can see it's kind of a glare. But like my Facebook app does not have like a 5 by it. My email does not say, oh, you have 100 unread emails, which I don't. I have one. Don't worry. But I don't have that. I turned it off. Guys, this has been transformative. I don't get notifications. I allow it to notify me when there's a call or a text, obviously. But that's it. And I have been doing this just for a couple days now and have found that I'm so much less stressed. I'm so much less focused on my phone. I can focus on the people around me and the tasks in front of me, and I'm not constantly having something like, hey, Kate, you gotta check this. You gotta check this. You have a notification. Your Facebook says 4. 4 people want you and need you. You need to go check that. And it's been so freeing. So I hope that my ramblings today have just given you some ideas for little things you can do to start your personal day and your work day off with 5 minutes of just something for you that gets your head in a good space for the day. Turn off the notifications on your phone. Really think about how you're using your time and work on living intentionally and focusing on people that are around you. So that's my Wednesday lunch hour review, I know it's kind of a weird one, but it's just something I wanted to share, especially with other women out there. Next week we will go back to reviewing products. I have a new hair straightener, the Head Candy 2.0, that I think I'm going to review next week. So I will see you guys then.